Right guys, so I want us to factorize here. Okay, so the first thing that we do when we are factorizing, you check the number of terms in your expression. Okay, so with a two-term expression like this one on A, the first thing that you're looking for is any common factor, any number that can get into both terms, all right? Or if there is a letter that is common there, you can also pull it out. So in our case, we are going to factor out 3. If you check very well, 3 is common between 12 and 75. So that means we have 3 open bracket there, 4m squared minus 25t squared. Right, if you look very closely, this is what we call a difference of two squares. All right, difference of two squares. Right, you know square numbers and square terms, you can find the square root of those, right? For example, if I have 4m squared, the square root of 4m squared is 2m. Also, the square root of 25t squared is equal to 5t. Alright, so the reason why it's called a difference is because we have a subtraction sign there. Subtraction sign. That's why we call it a difference of two squares, because you're subtracting two square terms there. Right, then from here, if you are factorizing a difference of two squares, that means your answer is incomplete. The first bracket will have 2m plus 5t. The second bracket will have 2m minus 5t. This will be the complete factorized expression. So that means we're writing 3 here, and then 2m plus 5t, and then 2m minus 5t. So make sure that you always double check. If there are two terms, check what is common and then you factor it out. And then after that, please double check if you have any difference of two squares. All right. Okay, so now this one we have 4 terms. With 4 terms, what you need to do is to check whether the first 2 terms have anything common and the last 2 terms as well. So looking very closely, you can see there's nothing common between xy and 15. So we are going to shuffle our expression so that we create an expression with first 2 terms having something common. So I can write xy plus 3y and then plus 5x plus 15. Okay, just moving around those terms so that at least the first 2 terms they have something common. So y is common here, then we have x plus 3. Now we need to create a bracket that is identical to this one. So the first thing that we're going to do, I would advise that every time when you're factorizing 4 term expressions, you leave a box, right? This box is for a sign. So normally I start by putting a minus sign so that at least if it's going to be a plus, then I'm able to change that sign. So what's common there is 5. You pull everything that's common, then automatically we're going to repeat the same bracket, x plus 3. Now if you try to expand minus 5 times x, you see you're getting minus 5x, which means this sign has to be positive there. It's very key. Then we are going to create a bracket using these 2 terms. So this means our final answer is y plus 5 and then x plus 3. Now if these 2 brackets are not the same, which one are you going to take? So make sure that every time these 2 brackets are identical, perfectly identical. So what you can simply do, once you create a bracket here, the first one, this one, it means that the second bracket has to be exactly like that. So sometimes you just leave a space to check for what is common, otherwise that bracket has to be maintained as it is. So in our case we have y plus 5 here and x plus 3. It doesn't matter again whichever way or pattern, whichever orientation or how you want to write it there. You can put it in any way. Start with x plus 3 and then y plus 5 coming after that. Right, so this is what we have. factorization. Of course, there is a 3-term expression. Unfortunately, it's not here. So what we need to understand is that factorization is a tool that we use to deal with many algebra problems. So make sure that you are good in factorization. All right, because algebraic fractions, you need factorization. Solving equations, you need factorization. Change of subject of formula, you need factorization. Many aspects, you need factorization. So make sure you practice and make it perfect. We don't trade marks here on factorization. See you next time, guys. Okay.